So I'd like to call the Dover Select Board meeting to order on Tuesday, July 1, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Public comments. I don't hear any. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? No. Okay. So we're going to go to the Planning Commission. We need to approve the Windham Regional Commission's contract for zoning and zoning bylaw update. And so this is for the 30,300 grant. Patrick, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, this is the just for the sake of the members of the public that are here, this contract is to have Windham Regional, the people with knowledge, help the Planning Commission work through the bylaw revisions that follow on from the completion of the plan. So this is the next step, and we applied for a grant to pay for this. It's my recollection, albeit a little fuzzy, that this is within the grant amount, I think.
Yeah.
So there's not an out-of-pocket expense to this. This is covered by the grant that we received from the state, the planning grant.
And there's a summary of the work that they'll do attached to this.
Yes.
So, so this is signed by Chris Campney at Windham Regional and also by the chair. So does somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we authorize the select board chair to sign the contract between Windham Regional Commission and the Dover Planning Commission for the purposes of writing the bylaw.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can you push this over for that, please? Thank you. All right. New business, approve. Consider Sullivan and Powers audit contract for year ending 6/30/2025 for $12,500. Is this or some coming one?
2026.
Yes, but it's for this one. Okay.
Oh,
And this is up a little bit from what I'm saying.
That's includes the library.
Oh, includes library.
So it's like 2,000 more than
So they're gonna go do the books up there too, then?
they did last year as well.
Good. This week, all three of us can sign it. There's 3 lines, so.
I'll be here, I think, at the end of very early September, I believe. Check my dates.
They're gonna love that new system up at the transfer station.
I'm hoping we get some big comments on looking.
You finally did something after all these years. So somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we sign the Sullivan Powers audit contract for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 for $12,500.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Wait and see. You know, I know we're still. Okay. 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 New bid, highway, consider bid proposals for Blue Brook Road Bridge repair. Travis.
Okay, I received, we sent out an RFP for repairs on the bridge deck to the Blue Brook Bridge. We had gotten back 3 quotes, one from Mountain View Earthworks for $88,650. One from Vermont Brothers Construction Daniels from $99,500, and one from Cold River Bridges LLC for $108,955. This includes hammering out and taking care of that center section only of the bridge. Taking it right down to the rebar, repairing it all, pouring concrete back, remembering, repave, and then installing Jersey barriers along that outside edge for a 16, 18 feet travel lane. I don't think it's quite enough for 2-lane travel, so it's looking like all contractors said that they could do it late September, early October. They do need a 2-week closure, because it is in the center of the bridge. They need a 2-week closure for that repair. And then we'd be all set. So it can be done this fall, this year.
How about the traffic light?
So all the contractors stated, because it could be years before we come up with a replacement. So rental would be way too expensive. And purchasing, we would have no need, and the lights, and Mike and I have talked, the lights are so slow that we wouldn't want traffic backing up out on the Route 100, so.
Yield to bridge traffic,
Yeah,
kind of thing,
we think we're gonna come up with, propose that we put a stop coming down Blue Brook, on the Blue Brook side, and then put a yield on the 100 side, and people will just have to treat it like the Williams built covered bridge, One lane can keep going and the other will have to just stop.
Sarah.
Is there? How far back is the bridge from where the two different sides come in? Is it gonna be possible to control? Like, are they gonna have? Is the bridge far enough up that if you put a yield sign at the bridge, it's gonna affect both of those directions, or are you gonna have to put one on each of them?
Stop on one side and yield on.
No, I'm saying, but at the end of the, coming off 100,
Yeah.
there's two different ways to get to the bridge from 100.
Right, yeah,
So are both of those gonna be, is the yield time gonna be far enough up the road that if you come from either one of those places, you're gonna,
I believe so.
You have-
It depends on the placement of the Jersey barriers, really, as to how far back and where the taper ends on that. We won't, I had some contractors show me roughly, but we won't know until it's go time. And then we also won't really know what the visibility will be like, we wanna make sure people can see, to the yield, or if they do need, they do need to stop, and there's stops in there, but. Yeah,
is it
I
possible
have a
that
question.
to close one of the entrances from Route 100 and just have everybody come from a single?
we
Consider it.
we could if.
I mean, I'm just asking, not,
If
I'm
we
not,
had to, I don't see, but,
We'll just have to, I think what it is, we just have to see, and then
yeah,
we just have to perform what we need to do, but closing that, then we wouldn't be able to, people wouldn't be able to turn right. So we wouldn't wanna. I don't know, just have to see how the sight line is, and
yeah.
I think it'll work.
Dan, did you have a question?
Yeah, the three people bidding, what do we know about Mountain View Earthworks? Who's the low bidder? I never heard of them before.
I had never heard of the Mountain View Earthworks before, they're out of Rutland. They seemed like they knew, I met them on the site. The other two contractors are the two that gave us the quote prior to this work. Rough estimates that I presented to you at the last meeting. But out of these three, I would recommend we go with Renaud Brothers or Daniels.
They did our bridge.
They did our-
Valley Trail.
Correct, they did the bridge on Valley Trail, they were great to work with. The
I
price,
agree.
same price as is what they had quoted,
Which is pretty amazing.
so.
Patrick,
Travis, Did you talk with any of the bidders about, kind of the long-term plan? Like how long would this solution last before we had to take, take a larger, take a stab at a larger fix?
I mean, they said not to push it past years. I mean, you could go as far as 8 if you absolutely had to,
It'll
but
take us 5 years just to get.
yeah.
Okay,
I would love to think we could get something going for that.
Well,
okay, and specifically, I'm sorry, I don't recall exactly what we asked them to bid on. So what exactly will they be doing here? They'll be reinforcing the surface or the support for the surface or replacing things or what?
Yes, so in the center of the bridge, there's a hole started. And it's broken the concrete out underneath the bridge deck.
Mhm.
That's what needs to be. Anything that's broken and cracked needs to be taken out back to where it's good and solid. And then re-poured, sandblast, paint the rebar, put it back in. Then put an impervious surface down on top of the concrete. And then pave over that to repair it.
Okay,
And this includes the price of the Jersey barriers and.
This includes the price of the Jersey barriers. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I make a motion that we authorize Travis to sign a contract with Renaud Brothers / Daniels Construction for repair of the Blue Brook Road Bridge at a price of $99,500.
Second,
Yes, Joe.
some discussion on this, I mean, it's a pretty big chunk of change to be spending extra for a 5-year fix. On a bridge, you could go with the medium bidder here. And you said that the other people seemed like they knew what you were doing, did you get any? Ask for any?
References?
References that they could do it? Type
No,
thing?
they didn't offer any up.
I mean,
Well,
I personally, as much as we're still using the same person in this case, what is there anyone that's got a better like guarantee on it that it'll last longer? Or are they just doing the same? Did anyone like? I'm just
No,
at a loss of personally myself. I mean, spending another $11,000 on something that's already fallen apart is very hard for me to just.
could you ask them for references
oh yeah,
that you could check out and we would authorize you to go with them if you were satisfied with their references. They may have done jobs around here we're unaware of.
yeah, no.
And the contingency plan will be going for now,
Okay,
that be a
I
reasonable
can,
thing?
yes, I can amend.
Yes,
Okay, so I'm gonna amend the motion to say that we authorize Travis to spend up to $99,500 for the bridge repair. After requesting and reviewing references from Mountain View Earthworks. And if those references should prove satisfactory, then the directive would be to hire Mountain View Earthworks at $88,650 with Renaud Brothers as the fallback position.
okay,
do you wanna check,
Sorry, Jeanette.
do you want?
second,
It's
why the board.
just
That's. But,
using the
yeah,
one we know, but $11,000 for the.
Well, now we're covered
It's
both
extra.
ways.
so let's get some references, if these people have glowing references and actually can see some of their work.
yep.
That would make a big difference in our confidence level.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Unanimous, okay. Consider the sale of the used roadside mower. Also for you.
Yes. So the town of Charlemont, Massachusetts is interested in purchasing our used roadside mower. for the price of $70,000. I would like. You know, the approval of the board, if possible, to make this sale. We recently, last week, took delivery of that mower. And this one is,
Are you
Ready to
running a
go.
new one? Are you
yeah,
running?
we're running the new one. Yep.
Is it fine?
Yes, I have run it.
I just wanna,
You know,
what did we have for a trade-in, for that?
I can tell you that the last one. Like this that I saw go on auction was for. Almost mid-40s, not quite. So I think 70,000 after. Keeping it for 11, 12 years is pretty good,
Where is trade-in?
pretty good value. When we only budgeted 98,000 to buy it, hopefully.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Bobby,
Yeah, we only gave 92,000, so I think better than that.
and the trading value we had put in 40. So,
it's good.
excellent. So,
Pay for that bridge.
I know, yeah,
Help them pay for that
Yeah.
bridge.
well, yeah, no, I talked to Travis a little bit about it, I think it's good that it's actually going to another town to utilize for. Their side roads, so now when we drive to Charlotte, maybe we'll cut better around than it is.
Well, it's our operators.
They came up, tried it, they loved it, they,
They have the money.
they do, it's what he budgeted for,
great.
you know, so.
Okay, so does somebody wanna make a motion?
So I make a motion that we authorize Travis to sell the used roadside mower for $70,000 to the town of Charlotte.
Second,
And second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
aye,
Anything else, Travis?
Nope,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next is.
$15,000 short of the bridge.
Well, we spent 30 there, you know. Police, discuss interior and exterior protection on the new WRX. Mike?
Yeah, so we took ownership of the WRX. And one of the things that are pushing us is, I think Jeanette gave you guys to look at, so the final pricing on that is. Well, they gave you $950, but that includes sales tax, so it'd be under $900. And it's an application to the interior and exterior of the car that protects from anything that can happen to it. Like the tree sap that we get around here on the car, the bugs, all that kind of stuff, the inside. Blood, which is enough that happens to cruisers, dirt, all that kind of stuff, and it just. Place away anything inside and outside of the car. They were also pushing on us, a maintenance package, which I'm not a fan of, because we could get it cheaper locally, without transferring cars to super dealer every time we need an auto change. And a couple other things that I wasn't terribly interested in, but this is the one that maybe to protect the investment of it, might be worth it in the long run.
Sarah?
Do these treatments come with any kind of warranty?
Yes, it does come with a warranty. So it's they'll give you a rental car and a zero deductible to fix anything that should be prevented by this application.
And so this is something we've never done before.
Right.
And so what's your feeling?
Again, I think it may be worthwhile. I did some research online and people seem to have had good luck with this application and with the insurance, if something did happen. But again, it's $900. It's just a matter of a second that pay dividends on the end when it's time to get rid of this fee.
So
Yes,
that was my next question, what is the expectancy of keeping the stuff?
It would be whatever we have. Planned, and I don't have my
Budget.
report with me, but it.
So-
It'll be in there. We're
Yeah,
keeping
it's
cars
in
at
the
5
schedule.
years right now.
So is there a possibility maybe we could stretch it to 7?
Yes, so these,
You
so
think
that's
that
my plan.
that's a better
So the car that it replaced was bought in 17, so we got 8 years out of that car. And so we planned for 5 years per car, but some of the cars don't get used as much. My car, the detective's car, they're not driven cars and patrol officer cars. So at that time, we evaluate what's the best to get rid of. And so, okay, 5 years out, this car will probably still be in good shape and we'll keep it for a couple of months. Would be my guess.
Well, they protect against vomit.
Yeah, we've had that.
100.
We could try it, and I mean, it's,
Like, I'm not necessarily pushing it, it's just the one thing that seemed like it might be
But
good,
this-
I wanted to bring it to you.
This is just the interior and the exterior,
Yeah,
no oil undercoating.
no, but I did wanna talk about that next.
okay, tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that too, so,
So we asked around a couple places and Greens is the best bet locally, it's be about $200 to do the undercoating on the car. About $250 on the new Tahoe, which I would like to do. As well. That is,
yes.
Did you talk to Sherman in Eastover?
I don't remember, to be honest, with you. I have one like. Officer Ember does most of the vehicle maintenance stuff, he talks to 5 different places I don't remember.
That's
Off the top of my head.
that's who we use, that's.
Okay.
That's not a lot of money to help protect the vehicle.
Both.
I know, I've heard various things over the years that it works, it doesn't work, it's, you know, what,
It all depends on the applicant. How well Travis has got his head up with that, that's the key. And you don't know how well it's applicated unless you're watching the spray and all the holes and everything else. So hopefully they applicate it pretty good at Greens, they put that on record. We'll see in 5 or 6 years.
they probably do a fair amount of these at Greens.
That's my understanding.
Yeah. I think so.
Oh,
It's all about the application.
I would be more in favor of the undercoating than this other, and this other is nice, but it's, a lot of it's cosmetic. Yeah, there are some things that could be very nice to have cleaned out, but some of it is cosmetic stuff. And that's, you know, if you did the Tahoe and this new vehicle, it's like $450.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I would even think about it is in 5 or 8 years, is it going to have made enough of a difference that it would affect the resale on it? And I don't
That's what
think
they're
these-
pushing, and
So-
I don't think these things are gonna hold up for 8 years. These treatments, you know?
Yeah,
It's,
Joe,
again, you know, if it's done properly, just dealing with Subarus, I bought and sold quite a few Subarus, the higher end Subarus. Have had protection on them, and they do, their bodies of them do last longer. This is the same type of thing, so I'm not saying I'm sold on it, but I've noticed that I've gotten resale cars. That have had stuff done to them, and they do look a lot better than the rest. Again, you remember, if you coat the outside of the car, so that you don't start getting the paint to chip
Right.
off, it's less chance of stuff getting in.
Yeah.
So
so what do you think about that? Should we?
if I was buying the car brand new. And I had the extra money, I would probably spend the money and give it a try. But as a taxpayer, it's a hard sell one way or the other. We're not gonna know until, like, the roadside mower did pretty well.
Travis, did you have something you wanna say?
I mean, if I can chime in, I would do it. They walk in the salt, just like I do.
Yeah.
You could find anything to keep the salt off, eating it from the inside out. Absolutely.
It's just sucks.
Other comments, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other side of this. I don't think personally I've ever gotten one of these things, and I always think of it as just it's extra money for the dealer. That's just me. I don't know. I would be inclined not to do this.
Dan, you have anything to say?
I see a lot of rusted cars around here. I'm fortunate that I have Volvos that are, you know,
Oh,
Swedish steel and they're tanks, so,
Rust,
but,
the undercoating, not by the clear coat.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Sorry.
The undercoating would be the thing that would address the rust. It wouldn't necessarily be addressed
No,
by
when-
the clear coat.
When you do a clear coat on the outside of the surface, it's gonna protect the outside, so it doesn't get chips and faded and peeled off quicker in theory. So it's,
Okay,
so,
I think we
I-
can try it and it'll be our test dummy.
Well, I
See how how it works out. I mean, if we don't ever try it and evaluate it, how will we ever know going down the road? What?
this is true, very true,
So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve, we authorize Mike to get the undercoating done at Green's for $200 for the Explorer and $225 for the Tahoe. Vote on that first.
Okay. So that's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second,
Well, we got that one.
Good job.
Good.
I don't wanna be saying.
Any other discussion about the oil undercoating?
I don't know anything about it.
Unanimous.
Okay, make a motion to, authorize Mike to have the last coat. Simonized stain century surface protectors done on the, WRX for a price of approximately no more than $1,000.
second,
Any discussion? You got that out. Good job. All in favor? Aye.
aye,
Patrick?
I'll vote opposed. No, I'll vote nay.
I don't think you ever keep a car long enough, Patrick, I see it. I have kept cars a long time.
Anything else, Mike?
If you'd like to keep it, I've started looking at options for getting rid of the Taurus that WRX is replacing,
Uh-huh.
the Interceptor. We had previously discussed a little bit about, the rough shape that it's in. And not putting it up for bid like we normally do. As I said, we had 8 years out of this car, which is a lot more than we usually get. Couple of years more than we usually get. So I looked into a couple of online services that will just pay you cash to come and take your car with a flatbed. And currently it's anywhere from $600 to $2,100. All of these places need more info,
Right.
more phone calls, more pictures. So I'm currently working on that and trying to figure out what's the best bet.
Yes, Joe.
Oh, is the car not drivable?
It's drivable.
Okay.
I wouldn't sell it to you. Or anyone here.
Well,
You just put on the car, if we put it up for bid, that
As is where.
as is, this is what you're getting. I mean,
That's
someone
an
coming to
option.
pick up a car, we're not gonna make as much money as someone that's gonna come.
It currently is $2,000 to $5,000 worth of transmission.
and
So
you're
we're not-
worried about the safety.
And it's extremely rusted body and under.
Doesn't hurt to try the bid process first to get more. It's not.
Yes.
Have you talked to Brattleboro Subaru?
Nobody really wants to touch it.
Okay.
Yes, I talked to 4 dealers, I did talk to. No, I talked to Audible, sorry, not Subaru.
What did you look up and see how much we're supposed to get that for trade-in value on? Like the tractor, you probably don't want it.
I don't.
Let's see how much
8,000.
trade-in we're supposed to get on that.
Well, but that was after
Looks like
5
it's a
years.
wash,
But that was after 5 years.
it's total wash. One's good, one's bad. and it's all-
Well, 30,000 on the tractor, and
So
mower.
how much we're supposed to get for ours?
We're supposed to
Sunday.
get $8,000, so.
We'll see how much we can get. I think the bid process is easy, put it up by the road, don't advertise it in the paper. So we don't have to spend any more money. And
I'll
see
do
what you get for bites and
And can we give a time frame so it's not just sit out there for the rest of the summer?
give it 3 months.
3 months,
1 month,
1 month.
August 1st.
Put it out there.
You guys, any comments? No.
nope,
Nope.
You'd be surprised.
So, do I have some direction on a minimum bid or just see what happens?
See what happens.
As is,
As is,
As is, highest bidder wins.
yep,
And B, write down that it needs a transmission and it's rusted.
yeah, don't lie.
Right.
Obviously
It
you
is-
wouldn't, but you know.
Can somebody drive it though, like, put a
Um,
plate on it, then drive it home at least?
well. No, they would have to register it. We can't.
Well,
get
you
it.
can,
That's-
no, but I,
They can take it for a test drive. or-
right, they could put temporary plates on it.
Oh, yeah, it drives.
It drives and goes.
I was driving it until I picked up the WRX.
Can it be inspected before? Okay, and the inspection is still good on it? Okay, all right,
Just, yeah, put all that.
okay, yeah. Give it a try for a month.
I bet.
Yeah,
you-
August 1st.
Well, that, man, I think get over it. I think get 2,000.
It is, also just as an update, it is decommissioned. We did it in-house. We were able to get all the graphics off and we got all of the technology out except for a couple lights that we can't get to. But they're not controllable anymore.
Good,
So we didn't have anyone, we had.
thank you.
What else?
Anything else on that? I think that was our longest discussion tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to go in the Board of Liquor Control,
Motion under the Board of Liquor Control.
Second,
second by Dan, all in favor?
aye,
Aye. Okay,
Make a motion that we approve a request to cater permit for Black Ember Grill for the anniversary celebration at I Love Art Space Gallery on August 1st from 5 to 8. And special event permit for Vermont Hard Seltzer LLC for Brewers Festival at Mount Snow, August 30th from 9 AM to 10 PM, subject to receipt of any fees and documents.
second,
second by Dan, any discussion? I guess not, everything's good with these. All in favor?
aye,
Out of Board of Liquor Control.
Do I have a second to come out?
Yeah.
Patrick?
second,
Patrick? All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Consent agenda, we have to approve the minutes of June 17th, June 20, and June 25th. So let me just check you on the attendance. Okay,
So motion to approve the minutes of June 17th, 2025.
do I have a second? Second by Dan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve the minutes of June 20th and June 25th, 2025.
Second? Patrick?
Second.
No, you can't, you didn't go to the meetings.
Oh, I
That's
can't. Oh,
Okay.
I didn't go.
oh, you didn't go. Okay, so I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and one abstention.
Abstain,
Okay,
Motion to approve the warrants of June 21st, 2025 for $325,426.24.
second,
has everybody looked at them?
I did,
Like them being scammed,
Oh.
cause then I can spend a little more time.
Okay,
I know, but.
hold on, we have a motion in a second, are you commenting about any of the warrants or just about the warrants in general?
There's a lot of things I'd like to comment on, or I'm not gonna do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, we have an FYIs. Dover Water Task Force. July 9th, 5 PM. DRB meeting, July 10th at 7 PM. Planning Commission, July 14th at 6:30 PM. Summer concerts in the park. This Sunday, Midnight Betty at 2. Next Wednesday, Picket Fence at 6, and the following Sunday, Planet Zydeco at 2. Windham Regional Update Public Hearing is July 22nd at noon and July 24th at 6 PM. The Brattleboro office and via Zoom. Do we have any liaison reports?
no,
No.
I have something that's not quite a liaison report, I don't think, but it also fits under the FYI. We're scheduling a water task force public forum on July 23rd. At 5
In
PM,
Town Hall?
at 5 PM at Town Hall, and we've reserved Town Hall for that.
Okay. All right, and we're gonna need to go into executive session for legal matters. So,
Thanks.
thanks for coming
Thanks for
out.
trying, Mike, to get as much as we can.